Hello everyone, Santier here. I am joined by my sister as per usual. We're playing Majora's Mask.
Yay!
I'm known as Ben sometimes when she says that, because that's my name.
I call him Ben more than Cientier.
It is... That's probably true. That's probably true.
Have I ever called you Cientier?
Only performatively. Okay, so we want to go to Clocktown.
Performatively. We can probably speed up time again.
Yeah. Do that too.
And also make it night.
We have plans.
Yes. So we just finished getting the Giant's wallet, which is why we have a red rupee next to our wallet. HUD? What would you call that?
Yeah, HUD. UI.
UI. The user interface that has the rupee container now has a red rupee because we have the Giant's wallet, which holds 500. And so we're going to use that now bigger wallet to be able to buy the all-night mask, which is 500 rupees.
Yeah.
And in order to buy all-night mask, it is something that the Curiosity Shop owner sells on the third day, but he only sells it if he has nothing else to sell. So we have to make sure that Sakon does not bring him the bomb bag to sell instead, which means that we need to make sure he does not steal it from the bomb shop lady here on the night of the first day at 12:30 a.m. We need to get that Keaton mask at some point, don't we? That'll be part of the Cafe and Anju quest, though. You get, depending how you can, get 3 or 4, I guess. Probably more like 4. As a Deku, I was going to say as a Deku you slid down it, but you slid down that too. There are...
I think you have enough friend speed to get up it.
Okay. Maybe it's the bunny hood doing it too. There are about 4 masks that you get from the Cafe and Anju quest, and there are 20 happy masks altogether, 24 if you count the transformation mask. So that's quite a significant percentage of the masks. Mm-hmm. The first one, of course, is Cafe's mask that you get in order to, kickstart the whole Cafe and Anju plotline. You also get the Keaton mask from the Curiosity Shop owner, in fact, during the course of that quest, and the Postman's hat. There are 2 different endings you can do to the quest, which means that if you're trying to go 100%, you have to do it twice.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to do that.
We haven't decided. We might just do it the one time we get the Postman's hat. The second time, if you do it, you get a bottle. So, yeah. You could do whatever order. You could do the bottle first and the Postman's hat. But one ending for it, you get the bottle. One ending, you get the Postman's hat. And then, of course, the actual ending of it, you get the couple's mask.
Yeah. For clarity, one of the things we're trying to decide is, are we going to need to do another day of recording? This is our 3rd day. Our first day was pretty light because there's a lot of time spent on setup.
So we will see if we end up doing both run-throughs of that. But in the meantime, we're kind of waiting for... if we wanted to go out somewhere else, we just need to be here around, it's 12:30, but, back at, midnight or something. We could start collecting money so that we have enough.
Yeah, we have plenty of money. It's all in the bank.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We fell in a hole.
We did.
We can do this. So if you choose one of the songs, like Goron's Lullaby, Sonata of Awakening, something like that, just choose one of those songs and play it for the big one.
I had to think about it.
Okay. That explains it. Or does it have to be Sonata of Awakening? Maybe it has to be Sonata of Awakening. I don't know why it would have to be. But you should play one of those songs for the... I wonder if you wear the Mask of Truth, I'm curious what it says. If it says anything. Okay, let's see what it says. It seems all of the strange stones that are arranged in a row wish to be the same color. Try Sonata of Awakening. Okay, are we on the east or west or north? This is weird because my understanding of this one is that you play the song for it and it turns green or red or whatever color. And I don't know why it's not doing it right now. It hates us. That must be the explanation. NPC. This is a way to get a piece of heart. So, you have to be in the right form. So you have to be a Deku Scrub or a Zora or whatever.
Oh. Okay.
That explains it. That's obvious. How did we not figure that one out? That was the wrong notes. There you go.
No, it was the right notes in the wrong order.
Yes. Woo, we got really big.
Boing.
There are 3 more of those in other grottos, kind of in the 4 corners, I guess you could say. And they all want to be green now. So all 4 of them need to be made green. Oh, you can see treasure chests on here.
Yeah.
So we're heading towards the west.
Is it under this bomb? Or this rock, I wonder.
I think it might be.
There's definitely a hole down here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Aha. See, it's already turned green, right? Because it was that one.
Yep.
So.
I'm gonna get better at this song.
You play it a lot. Like, that seems to be the one we end up doing to wake people up. Because we had that in the Swamp Spider house, and then we had that with Ikana Graveyard.
Yeah.
We haven't had much call for putting people to sleep, except for the 2 Gorons, the baby Goron and the giant Goron, the big Goron.
Yeah.
We haven't put anyone else to sleep with the lullaby. And then New Wave Bossa Nova, we just used the one time and one and done, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Elegy of Emptiness you'll get very good at.
Yeah.
You'll play that about 50 times and hate it.
Where is this one?
Well, the other ones are, you actually can get a treasure chest for 20 rupees, by the way, in that pond. I think that was back there. But it's going to be a little bit more southwest, which I guess is where you are. Never mind. It will be, I think, more south, not just southwest. Now you can't use your sword. Now, I feel like I didn't have this in, we talked about this. Ooh, careful of the bird. Yeah, the bird's going to steal your sword. In Ocarina of Time, when you got jinxed, it didn't like this. It didn't seem to affect your ability to use your sword. But in this game, you can't use your sword when you're flashing blue, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Like,
I wanna go back
if
into
you try
town.
hitting it, what happens? Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, it says you've been jinxed. You can't draw your sword.
They've added this ability to have text boxes on screen while you are, without like interrupting your ability to do stuff.
That's very nice. Do they use it for anything except for that?
That's cultural tokens.
Oh, of course. Careful, you're gonna. Never mind. You managed to not get hit by a cutscene of a Deku Floor. But business scrub, I guess they call them. All right, so you better get unjinxed before. Okay, good. You're unjinxed. I was gonna say you want to be unjinxed before you have to, because if you well, I guess actually, never mind. I was gonna say if you like hit Sekon with an arrow or something, he blows up and dies. But that actually would probably be okay for the purposes of this, because we just need him to not show up. So if you want to kill him, sure, go ahead. You can blow him up. Ouch! Watch out! Stop, thief! Give the old lady her luggage back! That would be really morbid, but I guess if you want to blow him up, you could. It wouldn't work now, because I think it's the bomb bag that does it. Make sure you keep guarding the bag, because I'm not sure if he ever comes back and grabs it again or just runs away after you stop him. But
I don't know what that guard's doing.
staring at the moon.
Sleeping on the job, if you ask me.
Yeah. His job is to make sure children don't leave. He doesn't care if adults leave. Thank you. Since he didn't make off with them, I can finally stock bomb bags at our shop tomorrow. Maybe I'll put him out tomorrow. I said tomorrow too many times. Thank you for helping me. Take care. I said tomorrow twice. Oh no.
You did a you.
I did a me. All right, well, so now we can keep collecting money to fill our wallet and also continue with the finding more of those grottos.
Yeah.
Wow, it's really dark.
Well, it is 1 a.m.
That's fair. Yay, we're happy.
It does tend to make things dark.
Yeah, big one I am. So there's a grotto that's in the east here.
Ah.
It's by the observatory, I think.
There's the secret.
Huh? Oh, yeah, to get up to the top. That's it. Okay. That makes a lot more sense than climbing them somehow. Yeah, I think it's around here. That's the grotto that has the,
Let's find out.
Yep. And there should be 2 of them. Yep, 2 of them are indeed all green colored. So I'm guessing blue and red for the Zora and the Goron. Do you think maybe yellow for Icana Canyon?
That sounds right.
It does. I kind of want to try it now. We haven't learned the song yet, unfortunately. Versus like, purple or orange or like what color would it be? I'm guessing yellow though. So just south is kind of where we need to look now.
Mm-hmm. But not that hole.
No, that one is the one that we'll have to do some other time when we're going back to the observatory.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think all we're planning to do in this 3-day cycle is get 500 rupees, which how much we're going to collect versus take away from the bank. And then... good call. Ooh, there's a cow. And then buy the... Oops. Buy the mask.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty much what we want to get done, so...
Pretty nice. So yeah, I think it might be not this patch of grass that we're looking for, but the one that's kind of over to a little more west of us that we're looking for. But this is pretty nice. Not going to say no to that.
Indeed.
So yeah, I think you want to go over...
I found it! I found a hole, anyway.
I don't think this is the hole. But if you want to do more things in grottos, you can always do the Dodongo grotto, I suppose. Now that you've got the better sword, you can kill them more quickly, right?
It's true.
That'd be fun. But yeah, I think it's more west. That way, yeah. I wonder where the cow is.
I'm guessing in a grotto.
Yeah. Well, of course it's in a grotto. I think it might be more like here somewhere.
I wish I had the Stone of Agony.
Do they have that for this game?
I don't think so.
And that one, it rumbles when you're at a place where there's like a something you can bomb, right? Or a grotto or something?
It rumbles near a grotto.
Okay.
I don't think this game has as much of a grotto focus as...
I think it's near the western edge, like around here somewhere.
As the Ocarina of Time does.
I think it's around here. Am I looking in the proper spot? I think so. I feel like you've traversed every inch of this. Do you have a similar feeling?
I don't think it's right there.
Okay, well we can keep looking then. Uh-oh. Soon it'll be daytime and those things will be gone. Watch out for the bird, though. I'm pretty sure it was the other one, but I don't know where in there, so...
I mean, does the guide show you which one, I assume? Yeah, it is this one. It's showing somewhere.
Ah, wait. Never mind. Not a second day. I thought you fell in a hole.
I did. I fell in a time hole.
Yeah. We're time traveling forwards in time. I bet it's where the cow is. No, I think the cow is somewhere else.
It definitely looks like it's indicating somewhere around here.
Yeah. Maybe the guide is wrong. Ah, you're trying to attack it. I understand that one. Ha! That is the correct choice. You don't have a sword to draw. Why is your map showing red right here, by the way? Did you come out of a hole just around here that I didn't notice?
Probably the time change.
Oh, you think so? Oh, okay. That's weird. Huh. Well, I guess we can... Oh yeah, I see the Dekubaba came back with the time change too. I don't know if we want to look elsewhere or keep trying in that vicinity, because I think it's the right vicinity. Ah! Wait, did we just find it?
It was just dark blotch on the ground. I couldn't see.
Oh, for Pete's sake. We couldn't see anything because it's so dark.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the sunrise was good for something.
I apologize to the comments.
Who were yelling at us. It's right there! That's the most frustrating thing. That feeling when it's like when you're watching like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune. There have been some crazy... I don't watch Wheel of Fortune, but I have seen clips of it where it's like there's the most obvious solution.
Yeah.
There's one where it was like, oh, what was it? Like, put a feather in your cap. And people were like, put a feather in your hat? Like, trying to figure out this word. And it's like, it's cap. How do you not know this expression?
Yeah.
Oh, so frustrating. But of course, you know, if you're on the spot, it is different. But there is something frustrating about like watching people having problems or failing at something that like you know and it's easy for you. But I suppose being a teacher, though, you have to deal with kind of that of like not just giving them the answer or doing it for them, but like letting them learn.
I think the hardest thing to do, and it's like the night of day 3 or just sometime on day 3.
Well, it's a curiosity shop.
Yeah, so it's like what, 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Still hear that cow. So you still need more money.
Yeah, there's the bank full of money.
Yeah. Final day. Let's enter Clocktown. We want to be in West Clocktown.
Convenient, this one.
But I suppose you could change time and then make it, because you have to wait until 10 anyway, right? But yeah, you are conveniently close to West Clocktown. Yay! All right. Night of the final day. All right.
12 hours reading.
Yeah. And we've done 3 of the 4 areas. We just have the east left. Now, I know you've enjoyed it when games have allowed you to do things kind of quote-unquote out of order.
Yeah.
Like you do it with Breath of the Wild. Do you have a preference of like liking that more, and why, versus like games like this where it is you have to do some math there, don't you? Oh no. We might have to collect 4 more somewhere. I mean, yeah, 4 more. This time of day, does it mean if you do it at a different time of day he doesn't? Like in the middle of the day instead of at night?
I have no idea.
Don't either. Taking a while to get up there, isn't it? Oh, okay, you did it at 500.
Takes it out of your...
Oh, okay, that's the right way to do it. That makes a lot more sense. Do you have like a preference for, and why, of games that make it more, you have to do it in a certain order like this one versus doing it out of order?
I think... I like at least some flexibility because it makes repeat playthroughs more interesting. It's a really interesting question, though. It's kind of a matter of what's the nature of the game and how's it kind of set up. So, like, a game like this is set up to be very flat, I guess is the best way of saying it. So, what I mean by this is... like character abilities and powers and stuff. Like there's a certain amount of things that you're getting and unlocking as you go and whatnot, but it's very different from games where you kind of develop a build.
Like an RPG or something, too.
Yeah.
Where you level up.
So kind of the more RPG the gameplay is, the more I want sort of freedom and openness. That way I can kind of... So to use some examples, Dark Souls, or like Souls games, the order in which you can get access to spells and weapons really matters, particularly weapons for like what sort of build you're making. Because if you want to make a certain build with a certain weapon, because weapons usually function differently from each other, then it's your ability to access those things that becomes really important, right? And then you spend a lot of time investing in those things and your levels as a character, your character levels as well as your weapon investment and stuff. So you kind of want to have some time to be able to enjoy the fruits of your efforts. And at least for me, like, okay, you've reached the end of the game and maybe you've possibly finally gotten your build together just in time to be out of game to experience it with. And like Pokemon's another good example of like how much post game is there. Like once you've kind of gotten your team together with the Pokemon that you want, how much is there to do with them, really? And often it's kind of paced such that you reach sort of your final configuration right at about the time you're like reaching the end of the game. And that leaves me kind of like wanting to be like, but now I've made this and I want to do something with it. But there's nothing really compelling to do.
That's a really good point.
But a game like this, like there's a little bit of that with the Great Fairy Sword, which I definitely feel. But overall, more of this game, like in these more linear experiences where you don't have those RPG elements as strongly.
Take the mask off. Don't serve masqueraders. Come in.
I'll finish that thought in a moment.
Yeah, you gotta look around. I'm doing a special sale. Check it out. Tonight's bargain is the all-night mask for use at bedtime. I forgot when this was made, but it sure is a freaky mask, see? When you put it on, you can try to fall asleep, but you won't be able to. Pretty creepy, huh? So I feel like I've heard this somewhere, and maybe I just made it up. I don't know. That this is used as a torture device. Because doesn't that sound like torture?
Yeah.
Not able to fall asleep, that's a torture device. You'll die if you don't sleep, I think, right? If it's long enough without sleep. Alright, it's a very weird looking mask, too. Apparently, it won't let you drift off even if you want to. Doesn't that sound awful? Like, imagine if it doesn't stop you from being tired. It just stops you from sleeping. This is like, I get infinite life, but I don't have infinite youth. Right?
Yeah.
I don't have nothing else to sell, I kid you not. So can I buy something? No.
Yeah, I have nothing to sell either.
Take it, buddy. Like, it's that kind of thing. Like,
I guess I can just play the Song of Time now.
You might have to be outside to do it, I'm not sure. But, it's like I'll have immortal life, but don't ask for immortal youth. So you're getting older and older, more decrepit.
Yeah.
Or like this, where it's like, you gotta stay awake without having to go to sleep, but you're still tired?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't say that, but you kind of assume, right? That just sounds so miserable. It's like, I'm so tired, I can't think straight, I'm exhausted, and like, that's a torture.
Yep.
That mask is a torture device. What the Happy Mask salesman says, if you show him this mask, or this torture device, is he says that it looks expensive.
That it was.
She's not wrong. So finishing your thought.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where...
And we're doing the stuff at night, I believe, in Icana Canyon, so...
Yeah.
Might want to collect some supplies, and then you can probably just make it at night and do stuff there. Anyway, continue with your thought.
Can I just talk to... Because we want to do the granny stuff too, right?
Oh, that's right. We're doing the granny stuff first. See, I'm so terrible. It opens. That's right. So we'll have to wait until it opens anyway, so... Or do that. We kind of wanted to catch Andrew at 11. But anyway, continue with your thought.
I mean, I could go fight some Dodongos and come back.
Oh, that'll work. Okay.
So it's the sort of thing where if a game is more linear, it doesn't feel as like much of an issue. But if I have a lot of like personalization and character development, things like that, I kind of feel like I've lost the opportunity to really do something with my build. And so I prefer having a more freeform game for that sort of thing. So that's why like with the RPG I'm working on, Psychopomps Are Missing, working title, real title to be revealed when I've come up with one that I like that I want to keep with. For sure.
Ooh, a red rupee? Holy cow.
That can happen, apparently. But once, like, I'm trying to calibrate it so that way you're kind of like, you're fine. I was not paying attention to where I was going. Your final build is reached like a third of the way through the game or something in terms of like your character's like RPG style development. Like there's still going to be equipment and things like that to find, but I want it to be something where you've gotten a lot of that development done, so that way you can enjoy having your team built for like more of the game.
Yeah,
and I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be. Somewhere around like a third to a.
Perfect. Was it really so early on when you tried doing this before that you didn't have bombs?
Probably.
Wow. That really is the way to do it, apparently.
Can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.
Yeah, I understand now. What, you know about Dodongo? It moves slowly, so you can circle around to its backside. Got that? Did it drop a big rupee you want to grab?
I guess a
Told
decent
ya.
sized one.
Yeah, purple.
A weird 80 value rupee, I think.
Is it? We'll have to check. Okay. So how much do you have right now? You have 80. No, you had already 30. It's 50. See,
Okay,
50.
it is, yeah.
You already had 30 rupee. Because you got a 20 rupee, remember? And a 5.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, it's just one of those things of, like, I prefer the games to be more open the more RPG-like they are.
Okay, interesting. Because, like, I know that the linearity of games is that it's easier to have a story that's more complex if you have to do it in a certain order. Because something like Breath of the Wild is able to get away with having some degree of its complex, story or whatever, because it's backstory. And, like, you're getting it through Link's memories.
Yeah.
So it's, like, out of order, like, deliberately. Because you're getting, like, these pieces out of order. So it doesn't matter what order you're getting the memories in. So you can do the dungeons and, like, remember, whatever things, and it doesn't matter. Whereas, like, if it was, another game like Ocarina of Time, you would, if you had things completely out of order, like, if you did... I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. Because one of the things is, oh, really, that's good. We're always totally booked right before the carnival. We're sorry we have to turn people away. I recommend making a reservation if you plan to stay with us during the season. Please be to talk about is it in the future? I think if you actually tell her your reservation in the morning, she's like, but our guest is supposed to come in the afternoon. I'm not entirely sure. I think you have to do it a little bit later in the day. Because that's when Link Goro said he was going to show up.
There's a sneaky underwear still.
Yep. But, so, like, if you do things in the wrong order, I guess we could use, like, the example maybe of Wind Waker. Like, if you did Dragon Roost and... what's another early dungeon? Forest Haven in the wrong order. Like, it would maybe mess up some of the story elements or something.
Yeah, and there's a certain amount of, like, freeformness to how you're setting up your story. And that's absolutely a thing of, like, to some extent, it's like, what is the primary goal of your game? And you're kind of having to build around that, right? One
thing that's cool with this game is because it has this time loop, and it has a lot of the stories in, like, side quests that you do, because it's like,
they're parallel stories, not serial.
And this is very interesting because this game is very linear in its dungeons, and it's letting you go to the different regions of Termina, because, like, when you first start, you're completely just in Clocktown, and then then you can just go to the swamp.
Yeah, because you need the bow.
And then once you have the bow, then you can only just go now to the mountain, and so it'll be lunchtime soon. I must hurry up and cook. Grandmother is surely waiting, which is, we know the grandmother is not looking forward to this meal. So it's very linear in, like, how you can go to the dungeons and the order you do the dungeons, but the order in which you do the side quests is, like, whatever. We used to be a cafeteria, but after my father died, the room rentals that were part of our service became our main focus, because Angie cannot cook.
Yeah.
And this is why it's called Stock Pot Inn, because it was
that makes sense.
food, right? Stock pot. That's like a, stew and stuff. We're just a small inn with only 2 rooms. One of them is like a communal room, almost like a hostel or something.
Yeah.
But people from all over come here at this time of year. See the performers practicing outside? The second floor bunk room guests are very spirited at night with songs and dancing. Actually, they force Guru to leave because he's too loud.
Yeah.
The customer coming this afternoon will be staying next door to them, so I hope it'll be all right. Does this food taste okay? I I must hurry. The guests arriving in the afternoon will come. Skip this, skip that. Oh no. No wonder it tastes bad. She's skipping all the spices, I bet. Or things like that. So, yeah, so the grandmother is like, I do not want to eat this food because it tastes horrible. So, yeah, so it's in the backstory that it used to be that it was more like a restaurant that had a cafe element. Mm-hmm. Please don't talk to me. I'm about to drop this plate. But that changed when my father passed away. All right, well, we don't need to rewatch The Grandmother Refused to Eat because we've already seen that, but we can do some stories with the grandma if we want to catch her before Andrew shows up. Oh, Tortoise, did you finish helping Father? Then let Mother read you a story. Now, which story would you like to hear?
This one, I guess, right? There's nothing I need to do this night, so...
Yeah, I don't think so. The Four Giants, is it? This is quite long, but it is a good story for you to hear, so I'll read it with some extra gusto. The Four Giants. This tale is from long ago when all the people weren't separated into 4 worlds like they are now.
Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, if you don't have the all-night mask, you'll just fall asleep during these and skip a bunch of time, so it's a good way to advance, particularly on cycle 1 before you have the ocarina.
Yeah. In those times, all the people lived together, and the 4 giants lived among them. On the day of the festival that celebrates the harvest, the giants spoke to the people. We have chosen to guard the people while we sleep. 100 steps north, 100 steps south, 100 steps east, 100 steps west. What's interesting to me is that these 2 stories here are very much like the backstory of like what's going on with the giants and the Skull Kid and stuff like that. But they're kind of like a side quest you could choose not to do.
Yeah.
So, but this is kind of like filling in some of the what's going on, where I think you would be kind of missing out on understanding what's happening if you hadn't listened to these stories. Anyway, if you have need, call us in a loud voice by declaring something such as, "The mountain blizzard has trapped us." Why don't you ever say that? I guess they're trapped, so it wouldn't work, huh? They're trapped right now. Or, "The ocean is about to swallow us. Your cries shall carry to us." And I think this is when you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Now then, there was one who was shocked and saddened by all this. And you can tell that this design is the weird creatures you've been seeing. Mm-hmm. A little imp, and people have been calling the Skull Kid an imp.
Yeah.
Also the artwork. But anyway. The imp was a friend of the giants since before they had created the 4 worlds. "Why must you leave? Why do you not stay?" The childhood friend felt neglected, so he spread his anger across the 4 worlds. Repeatedly, he wronged all people. Overwhelmed with misfortune, the people sang the song of prayer to the giants, and this is telling you what to do as well, right? Mm-hmm. To the giants who lived in each of the 4 compass directions. The giants heard their cry and responded with a roar. Oh, imp, we are the protectors of the people. You have caused the people pain. Oh, imp, leave these 4 worlds." Lost Woods, right? Mm-hmm. "Otherwise, we shall tear you apart." The imp was frightened and saddened. He had lost his old friends. The imp returned to the heavens, and harmony was restored to the 4 worlds. Or did it go to the moon, almost, you know? The imp.
Yeah.
And the people rejoiced, and they worshipped the giants of the 4 worlds like gods. And they lived happily ever after. Good job. Wasn't that fun, Tortoise? And then finding out from talking to her wearing the cafe's mask, she thinks you're Mayor Dotor, and we learn that she's a school teacher when she was younger. Mm-hmm. So I feel like she's asking this question because it's like, okay, I'm the teacher, reading comprehension time. Did you understand the story? What do the people do to call it? I think it's, I don't know.
Really?
Let's see. Fingers crossed. Oh, really? But you listened hard, so Mother is happy. I'll give you some candy as your prize. Ha! I'm right. The other story you give her the right answer. You were praised by the old woman. This is added to your notebook. But it really, the fact that like this is, well, I guess we'll read the story and then I'll play that. Oh, Tortoise, did you finish helping Father? Then let Mother read you a story. Now, which story would you like to hear? The Carnival of Time, is it? The carnival's almost here, so it's good for you to learn its meaning. It's a little long, but I'll read it with some enthusiasm. Ahem. The Carnival of Time. Each year, the season of harmony begins when the sun and moon are in alignment. paying homage. She got some hard words if this is a kid's book.
Yeah.
Alignment, homage. Paying homage to the way that both nature and time are tirelessly in the process of progressing. The Carnival of Time is when the peoples of the four worlds celebrate that harmony and request fruitfulness for the year. I think it's kind of their New Year's celebration a little bit. And see all the masks. For ages, people have worn masks resembling the giants who are the gods of the four worlds. Now, do you feel like some of the masks we've seen have kind of looked like them? Like, not the ones we have.
Definitely some of the ones we've seen,
like ones on the walls that people have.
Yeah.
Is there... We'll have to see if there are some on the walls in the Stockpot Inn, actually. Now, it has become a custom for each person to bring a handmade mask to the Carnival of Time. It is said that if a couple united on the day of the festival... And united... Sorry, that's not an adjective, it's a noun. Verb. Oh my goodness. It is said that if a couple united on the day of the festival and dedicated a mask as a sign of their union, it would bring good luck.
It just says luck.
It would bring luck.
Let's hope it's good.
Presumably good luck, not bad luck. I just assumed it was good.
Yeah.
The centerpiece of the carnival is the clock tower, and on the eve of all the festivities, the doors to its roof are opened. From atop the clock tower... This isn't really a story as much as it is an informational passage.
Yeah. Hi, here's some exposition.
Yeah. From atop the clock tower roof...
Is that Tingle?
Oh!
The red balloon on the middle of the left side?
It does look like it might be Tingle. I don't know. Maybe he's more than 35 years old. Or other balloon people, right? But yeah, it looks like that is a Tingle thing. Interesting. Yeah. I've never stared at the art because like we've got this big thing blocking some of the art where the text is, but like there's like a kid on the side underneath Tingle.
Yeah.
With like you can see the mask is on his face and different things. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, from atop the clock tower roof, a ceremony to call the gods is held and an ancient song is sung. That's what we're gonna do. Also, the guy on the far right with the blue mat or green mask, like he's wearing underwear.
Yeah.
Or like Superman or something.
Yep.
All of these festivities for the Carnival of Time are held so we may ask the gods for a rich harvest in the year to come. You did a good job. That's all for Tortoise. Now, when does the clock tower roof open? On the eve of the festival. You did a good job remembering. That's the boy I'm proud of. I'll give you some candy as a prize. Yay! Ooh, cool. We even got another...
Yeah.
Nice. We're in 2 rows now of hearts. And what time is it? 10 a.m. on day 2. All right. Let's see. I think there might be some masks in the front area. We'll see if they resemble giants. But having this backstory... look like giants?
They definitely resemble the masks in the story a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. They're different shapes, actually. That one's more round, the blue one.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, our rooms are filled. Having some of that backstory really gives this whole story here, Majora's Mask, kind of a mythic quality or epic quality where, like, the events we're seeing play out involving the...
We missed the night one of the Iconic Graveyard, by the way.
Yes, we did. That's your fault. Well, I guess you want to do that. It's fine. We can do day 2 of it or just start over again and do them then. We could also end the episode after I finish my thought because it's about 38. It's almost 40 minutes, right? Yeah. But it really gives it a kind of a grand mythic quality. If you want, you can just start restarting the time,
Is there
I suppose.
anything we want to do in this cycle otherwise? I don't think so.
I don't think, unless there were other grottos, but I don't think there was. But it gives it kind of a mythic quality because the Skull Kid is a person from their mythology that, like, still hangs out.
Yeah.
Right? Where, like, they have these myths and stories about eons ago. This, like, he's kind of like this magical creature that, like, almost like a fairy or something, right? That, like, doesn't die and is, like, in their ancient histories and is still running around. Where I feel like they have some degree of, like, everyone knows who the Skull Kid is. Like, everyone we talk to is like, oh, that crazy Skull Kid. You know, why do you wear the all-night mask? He knows what it is. Are you suggesting that my instructions will put you to sleep? How rude. Be gone. This is great. We also have the captain's hat is new.
Yeah.
But I think it's just those 2 so far that are new.
I think so.
Wah! If you wish to study the way of the sword, remove that mask. It looks like something I saw in a bad dream.
What do you think, Jennifer? Does it look like something you saw in a bad dream?
That's pretty bad.
Anyway, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, Sorry, I'm distracted because I'm checking off that we showed him the mask.
Yeah, I understand.
So we don't double up or forget. Anyway, oh yeah, give him rupees. But like the fact that the Skull Kid is a character from their mythology who like still is around and almost reenacting that myth in that like he's causing trouble where the people are going to cry out for help from the four giants and stuff. Like it gives us kind of epic quality, and I don't quite know how to describe it, but this sense of this fantasy world where he's this character from the mythology and they almost are like aware of that, where they're like, oh yeah, that imp who runs around and causes problems, where it's like almost like like this trickster character in their folklore of, oh yeah, the trickster character in our folklore is the Skull Kid who, you know, runs around and plays tricks on people, but if he doesn't ever get too bad with his tricks because then the giants would come and stop him. Yeah. You know, and then suddenly he has gotten really worse just because he got the Majora's Mask, right? Yeah. With more power and stuff. But like it's I don't know how to describe this sense, but it just feels really like a fairy tale of like this character of the Skull Kid who's like, you know, if you ever read stories like with Coyote or something as a trickster, where it's like, oh, everyone knows who Coyote is, and he just goes around and interacts with the various, you know, characters and does things in different stories.
For sure.
It just has some feeling like that to me that I think is really interesting. And it's almost, like I said, like dreamlike quality or fairy tale quality, and it kind of ties in with how time is so an aspect in this game, where like that sense of time of like the Skull Kid always is existed. It's like this kind of timeless repetition of this story that plays out or something. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, I get you. Like the stuff with the Skull Kid is very much so like a part of how the rest of everything goes.
How like the rest of everything.
Well, like it's interesting that it fits into.
If you want to pass through here to the secret code.
What is it like?
I wrote it down. 42315.
42315.
Okay. Do you want to unpack what you said?
It's just like the way that the Skull Kid is interwoven in the story in a broader sense. To kind of like fit in with the whole of what's being talked about.
Yeah, like he's part of their myth. All these characters are like, the reason why I need a happy mask person to help me is because the Skull Kid did this thing. Like he keeps getting referenced, sometimes by name of that crazy Skull Kid, and sometimes like this weird imp came to me with a mask. They always mention the mask because masks are so important to them. But yeah, it's really interesting, I think. And like I said, it gives this kind of interesting scale. I'm not even sure if epic or mythic is the right word, which is like this kind of fairy tale quality or something. Yeah. I don't know. But it's really interesting. I think it adds it. And that's something that I think and Zelda as a series as a whole has, because we keep on having this repetition of the stories of like Link and Zelda and Ganondorf in different iterations of that story. Just like this is different iterations of, you know, this story with the four giants and Skull Kid causing mischief and stuff. Like, you know, it just feels like there's that kind of, you know, parallel, and that the whole franchise has that feel of like it's a fairy tale or a myth where different iterations of the same story.
Yeah, I mean, the legend in the title is is like a clue to what sort of thing it is, you know?
Yeah, it's like legends and stories, exactly. Ooh, he gets really close to you. I feel like he circles back around a little bit.
He circles back around a lot.
Yeah.
Ultimately goes into the grotto. Where is it?
Right there, I think, yeah. We'll have to watch him get in the grotto.
But it is interesting how they're able to do that in a way that's really compelling.
Yeah. Of retelling the Zelda, Link, Ganondorf story, you mean?
Yeah. But just like...
Moonsteer?
Oh yeah, I guess I do need that.
While you're here. But yeah, so that's something I like about this game, is I like that aspect of the story.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of neat, so...
Well, we're kind of setting stuff up for the next episode, but I figured I might as well while my sister was talking about things.
Yeah. Oof.
Crunch that audio some.
I feel like it's getting worse each time. This is like our third time getting the Moonsteer, I think, right?
Probably.
All right. Well, shall we wrap it up there?
I think I want to go grab the Moonsteer while I'm thinking about it, and then we can wrap it up.
All right. Yay!
All right, there we go. Well, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.